Did you get what I wanted?
I told you trying to get in the lab on a Saturday morning is next to impossible. Which is why I spent the night there. Okay, A is for antigen, and B is for bacteria, just to make sure there was no confusion.
How clever of you.
I don't know how you can do that.
I wouldn't have to if you had the stomach to give it to me.
I'd kill for you. I'd even die for you, Jude. Just don't ask me to give you an injection.
You have to have this, you know. Hard to believe a medical grad student afraid of a little needle.
Well, I've been that way since I was a kid. Let's go ahead and get it over with. Besides, that's former researcher anyway. I mean, I can't go back to university now. Not after this. I mean, my career's finished. You know, I'm gonna need a bigger cut from this operation, you know. Just to make it worth my while. You don't have a problem with that, do you?
Oh, no.
Great.
I'll make sure you get... what you deserve. There, that wasn't so bad, was it?
Stings a little.
Come here. I'll make it feel better.
So we're really gonna go through with this?
Of course we are. Tell me, did you mean what you said? That you'd kill for me? Die for me?
Right now, baby, I would do anything for you.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Hey, Doctor.
What a marvelous morning.
I thought you gave up roller skating to work a long time ago.
Well, I did, but, you know, I was poking around the garage looking for my old tap shoes. I found these. What if I could handle rollerblades?
Did you hear the news?
What?
I won the Medical Examiner Society Scene Investigation Award.
The Messi?
I know it may not mean much to anybody else, but in my profession, it's the very highest honor.
I always said you were the best there is. I'm glad somebody else recognizes that.
Thought you gave up on those.
Yeah, well, they're back in again. What if I could find my old skateboard?
Oh, you gotta get my back. Ooh, got a real rush going there. You would too if you went surfing in sewer water.
Oh, yeah, another spill at the mouth of Bologna Creek. I heard about it.
Yeah, so did I, after I'd been in the water for half an hour.
You'll live.
Well, that takes you out as the subject of Amanda's next award.
What award?
I won the Messi.
Really? Mm-hmm. I always thought you were pretty neat.
Not messy, the Messi.
The Medical Examiner Society Scene Investigation Award?
Oh, the Messi. Mm-hmm. Medical examiners get awards.
Only the good ones.
Hey, how about I take us all on a Celebrate?
You know, Mark, your tab at Barbecue Bob's is getting kind of steep.
I was thinking of something a little more upscale. Curtis Creek Inn. I'll make the reservations and I'll pay. Okay?
All right.
I don't think he's gonna wear those in the restaurant, do you?
I hope not.
Irv?
Dr. Sloan.
Come on, it hasn't been so long you've forgotten my first name, has it?
Oh, it's good to see you, Mark. How have you been?
Well, no complaints. Dr. Jesse Travis, Dr. Amanda Bentley, this is Dr. Irv Downey, who used to teach at the university till he struck out on his own.
Yes, he taught a course in microbial pathogenesis, I recall. I audited your course one semester. Dr. Downey is a renowned specialist in communicable diseases.
So, how are things in the private sector?
Well, still bleeding red ink as usual.
Would you like to join us for lunch? doctors.
Okay, please, people back.
Yeah, we can use a little room here.
Rapid pulse, high fever.
His chest is crackling like the inside of a cereal box.
Better call 911. Is there any place we can put him?
The hotel doctor's office is just off the lobby.
Mayhem.
This isn't exactly the celebration I had in mind.
Dr. Aronson only works for us part-time, but he's always on call.
Oh, that's all right. We'll handle this.
At least they're well supplied. All right, let's get him on a saline drip.
Shouldn't we try to locate his family?
Yes, we should, and we should get him to a hospital right away.
No ID, just a room key.
Let me have that. Can you give us the room number?
Yeah, right away. Room 101.
Who's it registered to?
Mr. Vander, Alex Vander. Paramedics are on the way.
We have a name for our patient, Alex Vander, in 101.
All right, we'll confirm his ID.
And I hope find something to explain his condition.
Hello?
We better start searching.
Yeah, I'll look in the bathroom. Alex Vander lives in Mar Vista. He's got a student ID card. Apparently, he's a grad student at the university.
Oh my God, Jesse, stay away.
Caution, infectious agent. Federal law prohibits unauthorized use or possession of this biological material. Contents Legionella pneumophila, serogroup 3.
Legionnaire's disease.
Serogroup 3? I've never heard of a strain like that before.
Well, there are many different strains of Legionella. Some are extremely virulent. Some of them relatively benign.
This doesn't look like one of the benign ones to me.
Jesse, 10 cc's of erythromycin. The ambulance. We can't let anybody in here or let anybody out. We've got to lock this hotel now. Where's Krupp?
He's at the front desk.
You can lock all these doors, can't you?
Yes, but why would I want to do that? We have guests coming and going night and day.
Not anymore.
Amanda,
I'll handle it.
we have to put the hotel under quarantine.
What?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, you can't.
That's Legionnaire's disease. Mr. Vander is dying of it right now.
Well, if word gets out of this, we're
Well,
going
it's
to...
going to get out, all right. We have to notify public health right away. And we should lock those doors before the paramedics get here. It's just more people to quarantine.
You've got to help me. It's my wife. I think she's dying.
What? I'm Dr. Downey. Take me to your wife.
Okay, let's lock it down. Show me the...
Here.
Yeah, grab the door. I got that.
Gentlemen, false alarm. What? I'm sorry. Jesse, we need to set up a triage. We can use a conference room for that. We need something a little bit larger for the less acute cases. Mr. Krupp, you have a suggestion?
We have a ballroom. You show it to me? Yeah.
Steve, it's me.
We'll set up a perimeter around the hotel, and I won't have any problem getting the full quarantine. Give me Alex Vander's driver's license number.
Yeah, it's N as in Nancy, 6606395.
All right, now I just got to wait for the database.
Look, call the Center for Disease Control. Talk to somebody at NCID. Tell them what we got here.
All right, what else are you going to need?
Medical supplies, antibiotics, syringes, saline bags, portable oxygen, antiseptic dressings. You know, we might as well prepare for the worst.
Look, I'll just load up a full medevac helicopter and get it to you up there. We'll land it on the roof.
Good. Tell them not to bring the supplies in themselves. We'll send somebody up after it.
All right, here's Vander. No priors.
Huh.
Not even a traffic ticket. Not exactly the profile of a terrorist.
No.
Listen, Dad, were you exposed to the bacteria?
We have to assume we all were, Steve. Wish me luck.
Right.
Roll away beds, as many as you can get.
Blankets, sheets, towels, washcloths.
Empty out the doctor's office. Bring all the medical supplies in here. 104. And ice, lots of ice. Ice, right, got it. Have you ever seen anything incubate this fast?
Once, 1992, in Zaire, Ebola.
You know what you think? A lucky size Dr. Downey's here. When it comes to the treatment of infectious diseases, the best there is. What do you think the odds are that you would happen to be here at the beginning of an outbreak?
Wow, what are the odds that any of us would be? Most likely we were, or that disease would be walking out the door and into the streets.
Fever, coughing, ataxia. It's hitting her pretty hard.
Okay, you're gonna be fine. We've got a room for you over here.
How's Bandy?
Unconscious but stable.
Opposite of how I feel, conscious and a little unstable.
Doctor?
Yes.
Let's get this block cleared and cordoned off now. Let's go on the double. Department of Health? That's right. Let's get those signs up now.
Ransom Falls is standing along the south side entrance.
1182, this is Metro 1, come in.
This is Lieutenant Sloan, Metro. What's up?
There's a guy here who wants to talk to you. Driscoll brought him in.
I'm kind of tied up right now, Metro.
His name is Beathers, Jim Beathers. He says he's Alex Vander's professor at the university.
I'm on my way.
That's great. Thanks. Thanks. We can use more blankets.
Excuse me.
Get some ice, too. Thanks.
Are you in charge here?
I guess so. Just as much as anybody else.
I was told I couldn't leave.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, you should probably go back to your room. That is, if you're feeling all right.
I'd feel better if I could get out of here.
I think we all would, but we're just gonna have to be patient, okay?
But it's really important. I'm a model and I have a photo shoot.
Yeah, it's just gonna have to wait.
The hotel is completely sealed off. Nobody can get in or out. I guess we're stuck.
Fine. Maybe
Now, the order for the quarantine comes directly from the Department of Health. But just because we're all quarantined in here does not mean we're all going to get sick. We've had a small outbreak of Legionnaire's disease, which we will contain. We have experts from the CDC flying in. All right, I'm no happier about being stuck here than the rest of you are, but we have 7 confirmed cases so far.
I don't want to be number 8. They can't keep us here. That's right. They can't keep us from leaving.
Please stay calm. Folks, we're not going to let you out that door.
People, please, go back. There's nothing we can do for you out here. We can't help you. The doctors in there can't. Please, back up. This is a quarantine.
Everything's going according to plan.
What about Dr. Sloan? He wasn't part of the plan.
No, but he's cooperating. He won't be a problem.
Yeah? What about Vander? He didn't tell me he was going to get sick. I bet you didn't tell him that either.
It was an accident. A horrible accident. Don't worry. There won't be any more mistakes. Soon we'll be together in the Caribbean or the south of France or wherever we want to be.
Yeah? Well, that won't happen if I don't get through this wall.
Then get busy.
I want no foot traffic at all. Keep those people back.
Where do you guys get off? I was in the middle of class when your goon over there came in and dragged me out.
Please accept my apologies. We just didn't have time for the usual pleasantries.
Right. Like you ever have time for the usual pleasantries. I don't even get those when you're writing me a parking ticket.
I need to talk to you about Alex Vander.
Great. Not only do you drag me out of class, but you drag me out of class to talk about my least favorite human being on Earth.
Your former boyfriend, from what I've been told.
What of it?
See that hotel over there? Dozens of people are sick and dying because of a germ your ex-boyfriend let loose. You and I are going to find a nice, quiet place to talk, and you're going to fill me in on every single detail of his life.
How's he doing?
Actually, he's starting to stabilize a little bit. If we could just bring down this fever, we might be able to get him to talk. You're supposed to be treating those poor, infected people.
Unfortunately, I've got lots of help.
Sloan?
He's been looking over my shoulder every minute, and he and his little worker bees have managed to keep Vander alive. What if he talks?
That would be a problem.
That would be the end.
Make sure it doesn't happen.
I don't know about your timing.
My timing is perfect.
Save the seduction act for Krupp. And help me figure out what we're going to do about Vander. You want me to kill him with another injection of bacteria?
Don't tell me you're afraid of getting your hands dirty. After all, we have infected an entire hotel full of people.
Our little triage area is getting overcrowded anyway. We need the bed space.
That we do.
Ariel,
What is it? Have you broken through?
you wish.
I'll be right there.
Do we have any Rimpanton?
We've got everything. They emptied half the pharmacy at Community General. Why?
Oh, erythromycin isn't going to do it alone. We need to augment.
Well, we have to do something. Let's try it.
What's the problem?
I got a list of problems this thick. You said we only had to cut through an inch. I passed an inch 20 minutes ago.
So maybe I was a little off.
Yeah? Well, that little bit's gonna cost us another hour. Let's face it, this is a disaster.
So it's going to take another hour. No big deal. No one's going anywhere.
Everything's going wrong. First Sloan, then this. But we should just shut down and cut our losses. The plan didn't work.
How can we give up now when we're just this close to millions and millions of dollars?
Are you sure? I mean, it could be 3 inches. Maybe 4. Maybe the security system is better than you thought. Maybe the money isn't even there.
Calm down. Go upstairs and make an appearance. I'll take care of this. Go. Be strong for me. I need you.
to try another medication. That should clear things up nicely.
Hello?
Dad, it's me.
Steve, any news?
The CDC special flight is in the air with an antigen.
Thank God.
With maybe 5 hours before it gets here.
I don't think some of these people have 5 hours, Steve.
How are you, Jesse and Amanda, doing?
Well, that depends. What have you found out?
Art Vander is a grad student working on new antigens for antibiotic-resistant strains of Legionella. 6 weeks ago, he walks into a cafeteria and a beautiful woman hits on him. Finds him and his work extremely interesting.
She chose him because of his access to the bacteria, and then she seduced him.
Yep, big time. He dumps his girlfriend, stops seeing his friends, starts coming in late or not at all to classes. By all accounts, he becomes totally obsessed with her.
Anyone know who she is?
A succubus, according to Vander's ex. She disappeared as fast as she appeared. The only thing anybody remembers about her is that she was a jaw-dropping beauty.
This all sounds very calculated and professional to me.
Yeah, I know. Terrorist, maybe.
No, I don't think so. Somebody would have taken credit or made demands by now. No, it's something else. I just wish I knew what it was.
So do I. Look, I'll be in touch, Dad.
Thanks, Steve.
Mr. Krupp. Hello, Doctor. How we doing?
Just trying to hold out until the CDC team gets here. What's the matter there?
That's just an itch.
Just an issue. There's no such thing. I mean, not at ground zero of an epidemic outbreak. You know, I had a rash this morning looked just like that. I got it from surfing.
Oh, really? I was down at the beach myself before work.
You know, I'd like Dr. Sloan to take a look at that.
That won't be necessary.
Look. You know that I can't accept that. Please. Thanks.
You been in the water?
I swim every morning.
Well, the good news is it had nothing to do with Legionella. Doesn't make me want to start surfing anytime soon. Jesse, how's your rash?
It's pretty much gone.
You know, it's funny. Yours took so long to break out, and you were both exposed about the same time.
You're the doctor.
Well, we'll give you some cortisone cream for it.
Great.
Mark, Jesse. He's dead.
No, this shouldn't have happened so quickly. I want to know exactly what killed him.
I realize this isn't the optimum spot for an autopsy, but I found some intriguing information. Take a look at the slide. I've never seen a concentration of bacteria like that. There's more Legionella in his system than can be accounted for by a simple cell reproduction.
How do you think it got there?
Take a look. These are puncture wounds, injection sites. Now, this one hadn't completed clotting, but I believe this is where he received his rimphantin shot. This is where I administered the erythromycin earlier. And here, this is the oldest mark. It seems as though he shot himself up with Legionella, and he broke the vial and infected the whole hotel.
He couldn't have given himself that shot. It's clear on the back of his arm. Bud Vander was murdered. Vander?
I just don't feel well, Mark.
This dame was hoarding more jewels than Princess Margaret.
Let's just get what we came here for. The cash and the jewels.
Okay, boss. Now, why would someone have this in a safety deposit box?
Take it.
Why?
Maybe it's kinky. Could be fun.
I'd rather do it than watch it.
What's on this tape is probably very embarrassing. You never know when we might need to augment our cash flow.
Judging by our tape today, it's not going to be any time soon, but it never hurts to plan ahead.
Does all of this excite you?
Yes.
Is it the danger? Or the wealth? Or is it me?
It's you.
There's plenty of time for that later. They're going to start to miss you upstairs.
They're so busy with the epidemic, I doubt they even notice I'm gone.
But if they do, we're in trouble. Go. I'll finish up here.
You found me because you needed someone with the knowledge of infectious diseases. And that's changed, hasn't it?
I need you now. Because I need you.
You know, Mark, I hate going from the physician ranks to being one of the patients.
I hate it, too. Physicians have been badly outnumbered since this outbreak occurred.
You know, what was a graduate student doing in a $350 a night suite with a stolen vial of Legionella?
Maybe he's going to sell it to somebody. Maybe he's a terrorist. I don't know. The main priority right now is to get this disease whipped.
It's a good thing Dr. Downey was here.
Yeah. Maybe too good a thing. Well, it bothers me that an expert on the infectious diseases just happened to be on hand when this outbreak occurred.
Mark, maybe we were just lucky, although I sure don't feel lucky right now.
Is it cold enough?
Yes, that feels wonderful, Jesse. Thank you. You know, with all the advances in medicine, this feels like it's helping me more than all the shots you gave me.
Just let me know if there's anything else I can get you.
Doctors, I'm not the only patient here. Why don't you help some of the other people?
Okay.
Go on.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Look flushed.
I'm fine, really. Thanks.
Could somebody please bring me some more towels?
Yes, doctor, right away.
Very amazing.
How's that?
Well, now the energy you've got. Tell you the truth, I'm feeling a little sapped. So's Jesse. Poor Amanda.
Oh, she'll be all right. They all will. CDC will be here in a few hours.
I'm mighty happy to see them. Get these people on their feet and then get to the bottom of this thing.
Get to the bottom of what?
The murder.
Murder?
Yes.
Well, Mark, I think it's pretty obvious what happened. Alex Vander stole some bacteria and it cost him his life. I'm not sure he even intended to murder anyone.
Well, maybe not, but somebody intended to murder him. He was deliberately infected. Isn't that strange? The man who's working with the vaccine brings the bacteria and not the cure?
What makes you think he was intentionally infected?
The autopsy.
Autopsy?
Yes, I had Amanda perform one. Oh, didn't I mention she's an L.A. County medical examiner?
Well, it's lucky for us that she was here.
Yes, just one amazing piece of good fortune after another, isn't it?
Are you all right? You know better than to sneak up on me like that.
I wasn't sneaking.
Where's Krupp?
Still back at the hotel.
We have to leave.
We have to stay.
The vault is empty. There's nothing keeping us here.
Except Mark Sloan.
What now?
We had a great plan. A flawless plan. Get the hotel quarantined, slip into the bank vault, make off with the loot.
And it's working.
The thing we didn't figure out was the worst possible luck in the world. A doctor with a homicide detective for a son, coming to lunch with an LA County medical examiner. Who knew she was going to do autopsies in the kitchen? You wonder what the hell she used, a paring knife and a soup ladle?
So what?
They know Vander was murdered.
But they don't know about the bank, and they won't find out about it until Monday.
Doesn't matter. Sloan's in the hotel. He knows who's sick. He's been working side by side with me. If we're not there when the CDC comes in, he'll alert the police, the FBI, Interpol, you name it.
So we make a run for it. We've got enough money to disappear for a very long time.
Don't you see? They'll use words like biological agent. Not to give a hoot about the bank vault. They'll say we were terrorists. They'll say we tried to kill an entire hotel full of people. Our photographs will be all over the place.
What do?
We go back to the hotel. We wait for the CDC to come in. We get our shots, like everybody else. And then we walk out with the rest of the guests. We can come back and still be out of the country 24 hours before they find out about the robbery. Ariel, we have no choice. I wish to God we did.
All right. Let's get back to the hotel then.
Would you like another towel? I'll be right with you, sir.
That's the second one we've lost in the last hour.
Where is that Anderson?
Cameron? Yeah.
How's Amanda?
She's not getting any better.
You're not looking so much better yourself.
Like it's just a matter of time before we all get sick if the CDC doesn't get here soon.
Herb? It's nothing. I twisted it coming down the stairs. This young lady was kind enough to help me. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Ariel.
I'm Dr. Downey. This is Dr. Sloan, Dr. Travis.
We've already met.
How do you do? Hop up and let me have a look at it.
No, Mark, it's just a sprain. We've got more important matters to attend to. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get my shoe back on that.
You're sure not? That ankle is really swollen. I don't want you wearing any hard shoes. Jesse, why don't you check Ariel out for any signs of Legionella?
But I'm fine.
It's just a precaution we do with everybody.
It'll take less than a minute.
I better get some ice for that.
Look, there's too much to do. I can't just lie.
You're not going to be any help if you're in too much pain to work. Now, you know that. We'll try some ice on it for about 10 minutes to see how you feel. Maybe I can scare up an air gas for you. Sloan. Oh, great. That's the best news we've had. Thanks. CDC's here on the way from LAX in 15 minutes. We'll get some ice for that.
Perfect.
How's it going?
We should be patching this up on the other side. We should be on the way to the van right now.
No, Downey's right. We wouldn't even make it 10 miles.
Look, we didn't plan this thing for 3 months to have a guy like Sloan come in here and screw this up.
Forget about Sloan. Pretty soon it'll be just you and me.
And Irv Downey. I saw your lipstick on his collar. I smelled your perfume all over him. You're breaking my heart, Ariel.
Don't be so possessive. Finish up here and let's go.
This is Dr. Amanda Bentley. Amanda, these are the doctors from the CDC. They're going to give you a shot. How's Amanda?
She's responding to the antigen. I am too. You know, as quickly as this thing incubated, it dies.
That's one thing we can be thankful for.
I'm just glad it's over.
Over? Jesse has hardly even begun. Sounds clear.
Good. Can I check out now?
You just checked in. I want you here overnight.
You usually ask me that when you want me to run a toxic panel on a murder victim or a DNA match on a suspect.
Or check out a suspicious piece of clothing.
Exactly.
Well, Jesse's taking care of that as we speak. You need a rest.
Steve.
Hey, don't look at me. There's nothing I can do to help you.
Congratulations, Doctor. You're going to be fine. Everyone is. We've done all the blood analysis, and the infection is in complete retreat. There were 24 acute cases, and they're being kept here for overnight observation, but everyone else is fair to go home.
Well, it's good you were there, Herb. We couldn't have done it without you.
Let's do lunch sometime, okay?
You know where to find me. Have you met my son, Steve?
No, not that I recall.
Did I mention he's with the LAPD?
Really? It's a pleasure to meet you.
So long.
Oh, should we go down to the path lab and see how Jesse's doing?
Yeah.
I hate when anyone is in my path lab fiddling with my equipment.
We'll see that he puts everything back nice and neat.
You know, this is the first time I've been asked to run a stat analysis on a sock.
Did you find what the stain was?
Pyracanthaberries.
How do you get pyracanthaberries on his sock?
I don't know.
Is there an old stain?
No, still moist when I looked at the ankle. Why are you scratching your hands?
Because it itches.
See that? You got a rash.
It's hardly noticeable.
But it's a rash, all right. How long ago did you notice the itching?
I don't know, like a half an hour ago. Maybe I'm allergic to pyracanthaberries.
No, I doubt that. It's got to be something else.
Dad, where are you going with this?
How many pyracantha bushes did you see around that hotel?
Is this a trick question?
You're supposed to answer none.
None.
That's how many I saw.
Yeah, maybe not in the hotel, but the side street bordering the hotel is named
Mockingbird Lane. That's right. It's famous.
For its birds?
Well, also for the pyracantha bushes that attract the birds.
bushes full of berries. But if the hotel was locked down all day, how did Downey get to Mockingbird Lane?
Wait a minute. Jesse, that's the same rash you had on your back this morning from sewage. I bet if you check that sock, you're going to find some sewage in it. I think Donnie went out through the sewer.
But why?
Steve, can you get me a map of the sewer system for this area? Good.
She isn't here yet.
Oh, good. It'll give me a chance to tell you how things are gonna go. Well, we're gonna fly down to the Caymans, we're gonna divide up the money, and then you're gonna go away and leave me and Ariel alone.
Why is that?
Because it's me she loves. She told me so.
That's ridiculous. What could you possibly give her?
About $20 million.
And hardly gives you an edge, my friend.
Look, she shared things with me. Things from the heart. Things that she's never shared with anyone else.
What can I say? You got me beat. I'll bow out like a gentleman right after I get my money.
All right, now take your share and go.
Check-out time, Mr. Krupp. Hope you enjoyed your stay.
We'll dump the body in the canyon.
Drop your weapons and put your hands on your head. Don't move. Got it. Go around the side of the van.
I should have killed you and left when I had the chance.
How did you know what was happening? How did you know where to find us?
Let's just say we had a rash of clues.
Steve, it's been a whole week, and I still can't believe I won the Medical Examiner's Society Scene Investigation Award.
How about getting nominated for another one on the same day?
Kind of makes getting infected with Legionella worthwhile.
You wouldn't have performed the messy nominated autopsy in the kitchen otherwise.
It's not this kitchen, it's another kitchen. You gotta stop talking shop in here.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Oh, is that the messy?
Well, it's messy now. Hold it, Esteban.
You shouldn't stand behind a car when it's backing out. You could get hurt.
You sure you're feeling up to this?
I'm always up for a free dinner.
You know, you could have had a mild concussion and make you feel a little woozy.
I'm all right, Dad. It was just a little bump on the head. Didn't hurt half as much as losing Esteban.
Yeah, what was so important about a car thief, anyway?
We think Esteban works for a supplier who's funneling stolen car parts to a national syndicate. And I would have gotten him, too. Wasn't for that woman.
But Steve.
I should have arrested her for assault with a deadly weapon.
Did you forget it?
Aiding and abetting a fugitive from justice. Reckless endangerment.
Let it go.
And I would have, too, If I'd been conscious.
Steve, it's all over now. You can't do anything further about it. So just relax, have a nice dinner.
You're right, Dad. I'm sorry. This is my time to unwind. Work is work. This is my time off.
Good.
So, what do you recommend?
The camel milk soup's a good starter in here.
Would you like to order, sir?
Yes, we'd like to start with the camel milk soup.
Sure.
Never mind. You've done enough. You?
حالا دیدی؟ مشتریمون از دست دادی؟
شما نمیتونی با من اینطور صحبت کنید.
آره؟ اخراج.
بدرک.
It's her.
Who?
Randy Wolf.
Oh, Dr. Mark Sloan. This is my son, Steve.
We've met.
I feel terrible about this. Please let me make it up to you. Dinner is on me.
Yeah, I wish it was. This is the woman I've been telling you about.
Really? You've been talking about me? That's really sweet. I hope you didn't build me up too much.
Don't worry about it.
Imagine you and I running into each other like this again. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, especially since the swelling just started to go down.
You must live around here.
Yes, right across the road.
Wow. If you ever go on vacation, give my service a call. I'm a house sitter. I'll walk your dog. I'm also a really good handyman if you have any creaky doors, leaky faucets.
Is there any job you don't do?
Well, I'm not a waitress anymore. Yarnock just fired me.
Oh, you know, that's really our fault. We ought to talk to him.
Oh, that's sweet of you, but don't bother. I was getting bored of the job anyway.
You been doing it long?
2 days. See you around.
That's a chilling thought.
Too lonely. I was dancing all night. Hey, did you miss me? Oh, yes. I've been clubbing all night. Yes. Oh, gotta dance. Only way to let go. Okay, let me give you a pill. All I want to do is curl up in bed, read a little Grisham, and go to sleep. It should take about 2 minutes. Happens every time. Oh, I tell you. I read War and Peace in a week, and it's taken me 4 years to get through the Pelican Brief.
Who is it?
It's Randy!
What, the dog walker? I haven't had a dog in years.
He's dead.
Well, if he's not, he's 35 years old.
I'm not here about a dog. I'm here about a mime.
Who is it? I'm having a nightmare.
You have to come with me right away. This is not about a dog. This is about murder.
Who's been murdered?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I went back to the place that I'm house sitting because I had to give the dog his pill.
You said this wasn't about a dog.
It's not about a dog, but that doesn't mean there's not a dog in it.
I'm going to bed.
That's exactly what I said until I saw him there.
Who, the dog?
No, the mime, you know. Only he was dead, so it was more like...
Well, maybe he was miming being dead.
Why would anybody do that?
Why would anybody do this?
He had a knife in his chest and there was a pool of blood all around his body.
All right, what's the address?
Down! All right! Where were you when I needed you?
All right. No. Where's the bedroom?
That way!
Has he any shots?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you say the mime was?
On the bed, you can't miss it. I'm telling you, he was right there. A knife in his chest.
No blood? Nice and neat and clean. You sure you saw a mime here?
What else could it have been?
Where were you when you saw the body?
I was just about to brush my teeth when I saw his feet.
Well, maybe your eyes were playing tricks on you.
When was the last time you saw a dead mime in your bed?
Good point. I better go check my bed right now.
Wait! What about the murder?
I'll admit I'm tempted. There's too many witnesses.
You know, Randy, one night I came home from a really long shift and I was just exhausted. I saw a rattlesnake beside my bed. It wasn't until after I beat it to death with a shoe I realized it was my bathroom snake. Now, it can happen to anybody. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You gonna be all right?
quote, I never give to charity, and I've got more magazines than I can read.
What about companionship? Is there someone sharing your bed?
Boy, you girls are getting pushy. Still, I've always been a sucker for home delivery. I'm trying to figure out where we've met before. I think I'd remember.
You would, we haven't.
So this is just a random thing?
I think it's a case of mistaken identity.
Oh, don't say that, baby. You're gonna break my heart.
Where's the bedroom?
Don't you even want to know my name first? Hey, if you can't figure out what you're shrieking ecstasy, don't blame me.
There's nobody here.
No one, except you and me.
Where is he? He was in my bed last night. I know he was in yours this morning.
Oh, look, I don't know what kind of sick relationship you've got, babe, but I don't swing with anybody's boyfriends.
Don't play coy with me, Hef. There's a mime out there that's traded his glass cage for a pine box. I want to know why, and I want to know where he is.
And I want to know what nuthead you escaped from.
1891. Does that mean anything to you?
I understand it was a good year for cognac. Is that what you've been drinking?
It's my address. It's also where they delivered the mime. You see, they thought it was your house, but my 9 was loose.
Your 9 isn't all this loose. I'm calling the cops.
Tell them to bring their cuffs, because this carnation connects you directly to the dead mime.
No, that carnation connects me directly with those other carnations.
And you want me to believe that you know nothing about the mime?
I don't care what you believe. I just want you out of my house.
You're in deep, pal. And it's getting deeper all the time.
Hi.
You know, you gotta love California. Skies, blue waters, and a lot of dead people.
I'm not a specialist, but I assume there's dead people pretty much wherever you go.
Sure, but some are indigenous to California.
Freeway snipings, carjackings, liposuction's gone bad.
Yeah, but you can find those anywhere these days. The one that washed up on shore this morning, that was a little weird.
How weird?
Bet this doesn't happen in Milwaukee.
Is this the dead mime you found in your bed? It's a long story.
It's hard to say. They all look the same.
Okay, let's try a different approach. Describe the mime that you saw.
Dead, with a big knife in his chest.
Well, this is probably the mime because he died of a stab wound right in the heart.
He was found in the water?
Yes, but I think...
Which means you can't backtrack time of death through radiant body temperature. And the lividity indicates exsanguination from the entrance wound. Therefore, he was probably dependent at the scene. University of Galapagos Medical School, class of 91. Go Iguanas.
Amanda, would you translate for me?
Yes, he was killed someplace else and then dumped in the water. And based on his liver temperature, I'd say he died in the last 12 hours.
I concur.
Thank you, Amanda. Do you have any idea why someone would dump a dead mime in your bed?
It was an accident.
Are you saying you did this?
No, why would you say that?
Because you're always having accidents.
I do not.
Then why do I have a lump on my head, scalded legs, and a dog bite in my ankle?
Just because you're clumsy doesn't mean everybody else is. Stop projecting. I think the mime was killed in the house by mistake. It was meant for somebody else to find.
Who?
Come with me.
Amanda, would you call my dad? Have him meet us at,
1861 Beachway.
Why do you want him there?
With her, I never know when I might need emergency medical attention.
What are you doing?
knocking? You know, it's an old custom. You probably never heard of it.
You're giving him time to destroy the evidence.
What evidence?
Okay, dirtbag. We got the place surrounded. Grab the sky and kiss the floor.
The hell? You!
That's right, pal. I'm your worst nightmare.
Which gives you and me something in common. Lieutenant Steve Sloan.
I want to tell you right now, officer, whatever it takes to put this woman behind bars, I'll do it. I'll press charges, testify, hell, I'll even bribe a judge.
You really know how to make an impression on a person. Unfortunately, the young lady is not under arrest.
She just broke into my house.
Not in time to keep you from flushing the evidence.
If drinking too much coffee is a crime, then I admit I flush the evidence and you can arrest me. If it's not, I want this woman arrested right now.
Don't you even
Randy, let's all try and stay calm, shall we, Mr. Burnett?
I am calm. And I'll remain calm when I call your Internal Affairs Division and explain that Detective Steve Sloan stood by and watched as a psychopath broke into my house and harassed me.
Mr. Burnett, I realize that Randy seems a little over-eager, but she suffered a terrible trauma recently.
And who are you, her shrink?
Well, professional ethics will only allow me to say that she is under a doctor's care.
So she is a nutcase.
I'm just trying to bring her back to reality.
So this whole thing...
Think of it as therapy.
What do you want to know, Detective?
Have you ever seen this man before?
You're kidding, right? You've seen one mime, you've seen them all.
What, you see so many dead mimes in your bed you can't tell them apart?
I'm sorry if you've confused me with someone else, but there's never been a mime in my house that I know of, let alone in my bedroom. Is there anything else, Detective?
No, I think that will do. Thank you for your time. Randy?
That mime was a warning. They're coming for you next!
Did I help?
More than a year of electroshock. Thank you so much. How'd it go?
That was it? That was the entire interrogation?
I left my rubber hose at home.
It's okay, I got one in my car. Obviously, you do not understand the danger that man is in.
What kind of danger?
Isn't it obvious?
Not on this planet.
What does the mob do when there is a potential witness that they don't want to testify?
They kill him.
They leave a dead pigeon.
They do?
What kind of a cop are you? Obviously, whatever Burnett is into is big, big, big. So big that a pigeon was not warning enough.
I have a headache.
So you think that somebody was afraid Burnett would talk, so they killed a mime and left it in his bed as a warning?
But they thought my bed was his bed because my 9 slipped into a 6.
It's like an axe right in my skull.
Oh, so they moved the mime to his house.
And then he dumped the body in the ocean. What other explanation is there?
Well, there's an argument that'll impress a judge. We have no evidence to back up this ludicrous charge, but what else could it be?
A mime is dead. If we don't do something about it, his blood is on our hands.
You mean grease paint? Remarkable. Unbelievable. Well, now don't tell me you actually think she's right.
How's your headache?
Better now.
She makes some sense.
You got any aspirin on you?
You know, it sounds far-fetched, I know, but, you know, we didn't believe she had a mime in her room last night. Now we do. I think her theory is worth considering.
Fine, you consider it. I'm going to run the mime's fingerprints and then do a background check on Chelsea and Benjamin Drew, the couple that Randy's house sitting for. Something very odd about those two.
What?
Well, they hired Randy, for starters. And what kind of person names their dog Thor?
Could I borrow that picture?
What for?
I want to see if I can make a mime talk.
Good luck.
Excuse me, may I talk to you for just a moment? I'm trying to find somebody who knows this mime.
Go away.
I'm working with the police department trying to solve his murder.
You're blocking the view, okay?
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Actually, this will just take a minute.
Look, if you're gonna stand there, at least make yourself useful, huh? I'll trade you.
What have I got here?
An elephant.
An elephant? Have you ever seen him before?
Yeah, Mitch Huffenhoff. Biggest ego on the Strand. And calls himself the Shields and Yarnell of the 90s.
Was he?
Are you kidding? He's not even the ampersand.
Well, where did he get such a big ego then?
The women, they all throw themselves at his feet.
Really?
Yeah, well, he thinks it's him, but everybody knows. No woman can resist a mime.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, when was the last time you saw him?
A couple days ago, in his car. He was gonna keep moving, so the repo men couldn't get to him.
Well, where does he live now, do you know?
That was where he lived.
Oh. Listen, thanks for your help. Good luck with the elephant.
Right.
Poor Mommy is so sorry. Oh, honey, it'll be okay. The nice man will make you all better. Be sure you take care of him.
All right. Got the line.
Mrs. Drew, what are you doing here?
Saving my dog's life.
The connection between master and beast is very spiritual. You were 1,000 miles away in Aspen, and yet you sensed Thor's suffering and rushed back here.
No, I was in the kitchen, and I heard Thor throwing up all over the bedroom. And if I had the slightest bit of sensitivity at all, I never would have hired you in the first place.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm not.
Of course you are. You're so full of guilt and remorse that your subconscious is punishing you with hives.
Is it?
2 chapters of my doctoral dissertation were about exactly this phenomenon.
And what about the phenomenon of the idiot who can't handle the simple task of giving a dog his medication?
That really wouldn't fit into my thesis.
You were supposed to come here 2 times a day to take care of the plants and give Thor his pills.
Which I did.
But in between those 2 times, you were supposed to leave.
You never mentioned that part.
I never mentioned giving my dog an overdose of medication either. I figured some things you were able to work out for yourself. It's lucky for poor Thor I had to come back early to meet with some suppliers.
The only reason I stayed here was to give Thor some extra attention.
Which required moving all of your possessions into my house?
He's very needy.
Well, right now he's very sick. And for that I blame you.
If you'd like, I could take a look at him. I know some veterinary medicine.
You have 5 minutes to gather up your stuff and get out.
Your camel has a very nice hump. Could you please direct me to the nearest water hole?
जनाब हमें बता सकते हैं कि सबसे नजदीक कुआं कहाँ होगा?
If you don't cover your face when you ride, you sure get a lot of sand in your nose.
Hey, Burnett.
We need to talk. You know why?
Leave him alone!
Disappear. You're next.
Fine with me. If you want to run, this is your last chance. Okay.
Let's go!
You want to tell me about the mime now?
Stay the hell away from me.
Forget this ever happened, or you'll be very sorry.
Yes. Welcome home.
Either he's
stupid or extremely stubborn. Either way, he's gonna get himself killed.
Who is?
You'd think the dead mime would have gotten through to him. I mean, I got the message and it wasn't even meant for me. So they were gonna kill him right there in the street.
Who?
Why did they just do that in the first place? Why kill an innocent mime?
There's another dead mime?
The only reason he's alive is because I was there.
The mime's alive?
The mime is dead, Burnett is alive, and I am nowhere.
What's going on? I haven't the slightest idea. Why don't you just start from the beginning?
Mrs. Drew came back early from Aspen. She found Thor OD'd and me still house sitting. Poor lady worked herself up so much she broke out in hives.
Feeling a little itchy myself.
I'm really confused here. Weren't you supposed to be house sitting?
Well, I kind of threw that in for free. I was supposed to come by at 6 and 9 to give Thor his pills, but I've had kind of a roof over my head problem lately.
Imagine that.
All I did was give Thor some extra TLC.
And an extra pill or two.
Not on my watch. I take my job very seriously.
Which one?
What does Sonny Burnett have to do with all this?
I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I decided to go stake out his place and brush up on my Urdu.
Who? Yeah, well, language, they speak it in Pakistan, I think.
It comes in very handy if you use taxis.
What happened at Burnett's?
He was attacked by 3 thugs, so I took him out.
You took him out?
I am basically a non-violent person, but those goons from Fallon Exotic Motors didn't leave me any choice.
How did you know that they worked at Fallon Exotic Motors?
They tried to beat me up and then sped away in a car that had dealer plates and a Fallon Exotic Motor sticker.
I don't know these guys, but I think I understand them.
Good, then you better go down there and make him talk because Burnett is too terrified to open his mouth.
Is it Duke Fallon, that car dealer on TV who shoots himself out of a cannon?
He owns car dealerships in 7 different states. I don't think he'd kill a mime and leave him in someone's bed.
Don't you understand? Burnett has something on Fallon, and that's why they want him to keep quiet.
I ran a check on Burnett. The man is so clean, he's a natural disinfectant.
What about the Drews? Did they have any connection with Fallon?
None. She's an interior decorator to the stars, and he's an architect. He's still at their vacation home in Aspen, and she goes back tomorrow.
Then we better go see Duke Fallon, shake some trees, and see what falls out.
Oh, I don't think so. Tomorrow's my day off, and I am sleeping in.
But what about Fallon? What about the thugs?
Randy, we can discuss all this tomorrow. In the meantime, do you have a place to stay?
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
What a glorious morning, huh?
Is it morning already?
Santa Ana's have blown all the smog out of the sky. It's crisp, it's clear, you can see the mountains. Oh,
I just want to see my pillow. But since my shift doesn't end for another 3 hours, I'd settle for the bottom of a coffee cup.
you know, it's days like these that make you want to go out and embrace the day. Carpe diem.
Looking at dead people.
I don't see it that way.
You know, I get the satisfaction of helping people. What do you get from chopping up corpses into little bits?
Challenge of diagnosis without the responsibility of treatment and 8-hour days.
It's too late to change specialties.
Oh, it's you. I hope I'm not intruding.
Intruding? No, I wouldn't say that. Not exactly.
Okay, this is a doctor's lounge. It's for doctors.
I know, but I couldn't leave the stuff in my car. It would be stolen in a second. The coffee should be ready. It's a nice Tahitian blend. Help yourself.
Thanks.
Randy, you really can't stay here.
I know. Steve won't do anything. I'm just going to have to go out and do it myself. As the Maharaji Bab teaches, you are the only one you can be. Without you, you can't be you. You know?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, let's break it up. This conversation can continue at a later time.
Thank you for the coffee.
Bye.
And suddenly I'm wide awake.
Come on.
The lady is right. I mean, you don't see a lot of gremlins on the road anymore. But I'll tell you why that is. Because...
Service department, line 3.
Because collectors, they're snapping them up to put on display. Yeah. They don't want to drive such a precious piece of automotive Would you excuse me 1 minute?
Service department, line 2.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, I don't think this window works.
Let me see. Wait, hey, what are you...
Oops, my mistake.
What are you, crazy?
Customer service is our religion, ma'am. I'm sure if there's any kind of a problem, we can work something out. I'm Duke Fallon. I'm ready to deal.
I got an offer for you, Duke, but he wouldn't accept it.
Well, now, I'd eat a bug to make a sale.
Eat this. Stop leaning on Sonny Burnett and I won't shut you down.
Who are you?
Stevie Sloan, LAPD. But you might know me better as the woman who gave your goons an asphalt scalp massage.
Now, funny, she doesn't look like a dozen armed ninjas, does she? Anyway, I'm sure that Sonny got my message.
Think again. Next time, send a greeting card instead. Your message ended up in my bed first.
You slept with her?
Listen up, cowboy. Burnett is under my personal protection now. Anything happens to him happens to you twice as hard.
All coming together now.
Amanda, you haven't seen my badge around here, have you?
You lost your badge?
I didn't say that. I've temporarily misplaced it.
Well, my mistake, but what makes you think that you lost your badge here?
Well, the last time I used it was on a hospital parking guide. He's new. I didn't want to pay the $5. Looks like she made herself right at home.
Would you prefer if she were at your place?
Good point. Let me look around, Amanda. I know I must have left it in there somewhere.
Sure. You know, Steve, don't you think you're being a little hard on her? I mean, obviously she's a little eccentric, but not that bad.
Are you kidding?
Ephraim Connors, FBI.
What the hell?
Oh, you don't know what we're doing here. You don't know what we want. You're surprised, outraged, and innocent. Now that we're past all the boring preliminaries, you can start talking.
What about?
About Sonny Burnett's stolen car parts operation and the cop who does his dirty work. Now's the time to decide if you want to be a federal witness or a federal prisoner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You and your accomplice conspired to let car thief Enrico Esteban escape because he's one of Sonny's best suppliers.
What accomplice?
When Duke Fallon pressured Burnett to stop selling parts to other dealers, who shows up to muscle Fallon? She did. That's just the skin on the chicken. We got you fast frozen, shrink wrapped, and ready to serve to the grand jury. Where are the denials now, Beach Boy?
I take back what I said earlier.
Look, you've got this all wrong.
Yes, Steve's simply trying to find the mime's killer.
I questioned Burnett because she thought he had the mime, but he didn't.
Okay, and that's the best you can do?
My client isn't saying another word.
Boy, now, since when are you a lawyer?
Since my gala graduation from the Deer Park School of Law, September 1994.
Check this out now.
Yes, sir.
Look, you want to spend the next 10 years of your life in a bunk bed with a stainless steel grabber for a nightstand, then fine, keep up the act. But if you testify against Burnett, I can shave the time in half. Let's go. Think about it, counselor.
Counselor?
This is not my fault.
You stole my badge.
Only because you weren't going to do anything about Duke Fallon.
It's a criminal offense.
Well, someone had to shake up Fallon or we'd have never found out anything.
There had to be a better way, Randy.
The important thing is that I have seriously rattled Fallon.
Oh, and me too. Thanks to you, my career's at stake.
Don't worry. Careers are easy to come by.
That's it. You're under arrest.
Randy has a point, Steve. At least we know what's going on.
Thank you.
But what you did was inexcusable. You've gotten Steve involved in a nationwide car thieving conspiracy.
I just wanted to find out who killed that poor mime.
Well, nobody doubts your intentions.
I do.
Just your methods.
So now what are we going to do?
I think the only way we're going to crack this ring is to do it ourselves.
Sonny Burnett?
Who's asking?
Aims are for toe tags. I got your merch.
What?
Merchandise, come on. Esteban told me you wanted only high-end merchandise straight off the showroom floor, so I got a Saab back there and a Mercedes. Some assembly required.
Esteban knows never to come to my house.
That's my fault. I needed some fast cash. I haven't paid my alimony checks for a while, and the judge is threatening to repo my vet.
This is nice merch. I'm always looking for guys with initiative. You really want to make some money?
Who doesn't?
This truck yours?
Well, let's just say I borrowed it indefinitely.
Come on.
Good thing I watched a lot of Miami Vice.
Let's go. Sorry I'm late. I was cutting in some new spots for my Arizona dealership. I'm getting too old to crawl into that damn cannon.
Stop being a celebrity.
Yeah. Now, we have so many trade-ins that even I am in the garage. Setting back odometers, switching out good parts for bad parts. Success has its price.
And I have mine.
Oh, I know. Steph won too. Well, I didn't think you were worth that. Till I found out you had cops on your payroll. It's a top-drawer operation. I respect that.
You ready to deal?
Always. You won't be needing to go to the ATM for a while.
He won't be needing cash where he's going. Neither will you. You're under arrest.
You're making a big mistake.
Those stolen car parts you bought from him were marked. That transaction and this one are on tape.
I think he's talking about the man you didn't see. See, by the time you shoot me or Burnett, she is already dead. You ought to put that gun down.
Should have brought your cannon.
Was this your idea of a big move?
Not even close. You're under arrest, Duke. Jack Crocker, LAPD. Congratulations, Sloan. You just ruined 3 years of undercover police work. Do you have any idea what I had to do just to establish...
Sonny Burnett, I should have known.
I thought you said you watched a lot of Miami Vice.
There you go again, blaming somebody else for your mistakes.
Real work, it took me 2 years to get the thieves to trust me and another year to make contact with those car dealers.
Who killed the mime?
We have been investigating Fallon for months as part of a nationwide probe into interstate trafficking of stolen goods. Now, millions of dollars and hundreds of man-hours thrown away because of your rogue operation.
Who killed the mime?
Fallon was just the first I was going to bring down, but thanks to your incompetence, 3 years of my life have been wasted.
Who killed the mime?
What mime?
What mime?
The one you killed and meant to put in my bed.
Only you got the addresses mixed up and you stuck it in Randy Wolf's instead.
I can't believe it. We're right back where we started.
With one dead mime and no answers.
Well, you did uncover a stolen car parts ring, and you brought a criminal to justice.
I don't think the LAPD and the FBI see it that way.
Oh? I was kind of counting on them for a recommendation.
For what?
A job! It's not like I can have people call Mrs. Drew. I nearly killed her dog and made her break out in hives. Hey, where are you going?
Hi.
Hey.
Can I see the mime?
Sure. Hi. Hi.
Did you see any other injuries besides the stab wound that killed him?
No.
Have you got the clothes?
Yeah, they're over here.
don't see any rips or tears in the clothing. Did you see any?
Mm-mm. What's the matter, Dad? You missed something?
No. No, nothing at all.
Then why are you smiling like that?
Tomorrow I'd like to go by Mrs. Drew's and have another look around. I think the secret of this whole murder has been right in front of us all along.
What?
Excuse me. I'm going home and going to bed.
Without even giving us a hint?
Good night, Randy.
But,
Don't worry about it. He does that all the time. I think he takes perverse pleasure in keeping me completely lost.
I can understand that.
You can?
When you're totally flustered, frustrated, and aggravated, something remarkable happens. You become very cute.
Who is it?
Dr. Mark Sloan.
Just a minute. Thor.
Is it safe?
It takes a few visits before he accepts you as friendly.
In the meantime, I better watch my ankle. Listen, thank you so much for seeing me on such short notice.
Oh, glad to help any way I can. Why do you need to take another look around?
Well, to tell you the truth, first time around, we didn't take Randy on. Seriously.
All I asked her to do was give Thor his pills. What does she do? She moves in, gives Thor an overdose, and gets us involved in a murder. Next time, it is Club Doggy for you. Go on, honey. Get in your bed. Oh, he's such a good boy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Were you missing a set of sheets or any cutlery?
No. Don't tell me she's a thief, too.
No, I was just asking the obvious question. Somebody had to have hidden the bloody sheets, and the murder weapon had to come from somewhere. You notice anything unusual in the house?
Besides Randy stuff strewn over everywhere? Nothing at all.
Yeah, Randy does like to make herself at home, all right.
And it could have killed me. She left her shampoo in the shower. If I'd used it, we'd be seeing each other today in your hospital.
So that's why you use all those hypoallergenic products.
I have, very sensitive skin.
Mm-hmm. That's why your hand's itching right now.
Must be the dog hair.
You know, if you were allergic to dog's hair, you wouldn't have picked them up. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even own a dog. Now, this is contact dermatitis from shaking my hand. I had it covered with grease paint.
But I don't see anything on your hand.
Well, I removed the color, but other than that, it's the same makeup that all performers use. Your hand's itching because of the grease paint, the same way it did the day you killed the mime.
I knew I wasn't that hard to get along with. Don't blame Thor for not warning you when we came in. He knows me.
He knew the mime, too. That's why there were no tears in his trousers and no wounds on his ankle. Well, you said it yourself. Takes a few visits for Thor to relax.
Which is why he didn't go nuts around a dead body either. But you were in the house that night, weren't you?
You thought Randy showed up at 9 and 6. You didn't expect her to walk in on you that early in the morning. So you hid. And when she was gone, you ditched the body.
For a few weeks, we had a fling. I thought it was over. Then he called me in Aspen and said he was in deep money trouble. If I didn't help him get out of it right away, he'd tell my husband about us. How did you know?
After you hid the bloody sheets, you made the bed. Perfectly. The way you thought it was before. The way it is right now.
But what you didn't know was that Randy was living here. And she's the one that messed up the bed, not your mime friend.
So who OD'd Thor?
You did, accidentally. When you came home from Aspen, you gave the dog his medicine out of habit. You not knowing that, when you came in, you gave him an extra dose.
If you're so allergic to makeup, why get involved with a mime?
I'm a sucker for the strong, silent type.
Oh, it's you.
Don't panic. I'm just here to say goodbye.
I'm sure the doctors will be happy to get their lounge back.
Admit it.
You're going to miss me.
Oh, but I'll always have the scars to remember you by.
You got some mail at the hospital.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
What is it?
It's my applied engineering degree.
The University of Antigua?
Must be a nice campus.
This is going to come in handy where I'm going.
Where's that?
I don't know. And that's exactly the way I like it. Well, thanks for everything. Goodbye.
She's something, isn't she?
That she is. What do you got?
A headache, lower back pain, and bags under my eyes that would qualify as luggage.
Well, I warned you not to join the ME's office.
Well, it's not my work. It's the divorce. And this is an amicable split.
Well, they say divorce is one of the big three for causing stress. So is starting a new job.
No, the work's the thing that's keeping my mind off my troubles.
I suppose the corpse will do that.
Janet Detmeyer. She lived here alone. She's been dead for about 2 hours. Judging by the splatter patterns, I'd say she saw someone come through that window and she caught 3 bullets running for the phone. All her jewelry's missing. I say it's a robbery gone bad.
So what they drag me out of bed for? You got this covered. You want my job too?
No, but I could go for another cup of coffee. Easy on the sugar this time. Go.
Councilman Watson show up yet?
This early on a Saturday? He likes big ticket murders. Weekdays, 9 to 5. No sound bites here.
It's his wife in the body bag. She ditched him a couple months ago, started calling herself Miss Something or Other and wearing a wonder bra.
We've been trying to reach him on the phone. There's no answer. We're headed over there now.
Let's go. Councilman Watson? It's the police.
I'll look around.
How long are we going to stand around out here making noise? You got a better idea? We go in. Without a warrant and without probable cause. Watson's on the police commission. I hate to hear one of your bad ideas.
Hey, you want to see this?
It's blood. There's more over here on the doorknob. Maybe we ought to knock louder this time.
Knock, knock. Who are you?
Steve Sloan, homicide.
No wonder he didn't hear anything.
Sleeping pills, huh? How many of these did you take?
I don't know. 3 or 4. What the hell's this all about? Blood in the sink in the bathtub. Maybe you had a nosebleed.
Chief Masters, do you really believe that Councilman Watson is capable of committing such a vicious crime?
Let me just say this. I have the highest regard for Mr. Watson, although I do believe that he is quite capable of doing anything to promote his own personal interest.
Well, some people are going to say that this arrest smells of a personal agenda.
I would say half of those people work for your newspaper, ma'am. I'm also quite prepared for them to call this a battle over the mayor's office, regardless of the fact that neither Mr. Watson nor myself have announced our intention to run.
So you truly believe that Councilman Watson is guilty?
Well, corruption, personal and professional, yes. I'm trying to destroy everything that real Americans believe in. Well, I suggest you check his record.
Of murder, Chief. Is he guilty of murdering his wife?
Well, no, that's That's some question, isn't it? I don't believe it would be appropriate for me to answer that at this time. Do you? Yes, thank you. I think we just bought ourselves some commendations.
I hope that's all we bought.
You know me, Mark. Do you honestly believe I could do what they're saying?
You've been my patient for a long time, Matt, but Steve's my son, and he's a good cop.
He's one of the few.
I have to tell you, Matt, he believes you're guilty.
As he should, based on the evidence. I've had a very public and very bitter separation from Janet, and there was blood all over my house, but I did not put it there.
Who did?
There could have been 50 people marching through my house for all I know. I went to bed at 8 and didn't wake up until I was being arrested, thanks to the tranquilizers you prescribed. First decent night's sleep I had since the separation.
You know, Steve was right there, Matt, and if he had seen evidence being planted, he would expose it.
If he saw it, the officer who found the blood was Tony Stang. My commission on police brutality named him one of the 12 worst cops on the force and urged his immediate termination. Masters ignored the recommendation, of course.
It's hard for me to believe, Matt, that police officers will let a murderer go and frame an innocent man just to silence a critic.
How about to protect a corrupt power structure from the one man who stands a chance of bringing it down?
Thank you for seeing me, Captain Pike.
I just talked to Matthew Watson.
And he told you he was being framed.
He makes a strong argument.
Go ahead, Doctor. Follow that thought wherever it takes you.
Well, I just want to rule out the possibility that what Watson's saying is true.
Don't we all? If you do find anything odd, I'd appreciate it if you'd come to me before the press.
Of course.
There was only one officer at the councilman's home that was also at the crime scene. And he's going to take the biggest fall.
I know.
You expecting a siege?
Matter of fact, we are. Watson says he's framed. 10 seconds later, your dad's down here trying to prove it. Boy, I see it. The crap's going to start hitting us any minute. You've got nothing to worry about, do you?
My father's Watson's doctor. It's just a courtesy.
Yeah, and my dentist is on the way down here, too.
What chance do we have against a city councilman and his powerful allies?
All my father wants is the truth. We know what happened out there. You got nothing to worry about.
Oh, so the truth is going to protect me. I feel so much better already, don't you, Fred?
I'll feel better after I fire a couple of dozen rounds at the shooting range.
Reminds you, old man, who the good guys are, huh? We're the ones wearing the badges. Put them on there, too.
Wow.
Hey.
I had no idea so many people got killed in L.A.
Well, they're not all murders, Jesse. Some of them are accidents, some of them are deaths by undetermined causes, some are burn victims or parachutes that didn't open, drowning victims, people at sea for days before they wash up on the beach.
Please remind me to never do that again.
Jesse, I'm sure you're not down at my lab for a tour. What's up?
Actually, Mark sent me here to get the workup on Janet Watson.
No mystery there. Cause of death was a .38 caliber bullet, which punctured her aorta.
Huh. What about a tox screen?
Nothing unusual, just trace amounts of acetaminophen and pseudoephedrine hydrochloride.
Cold medicine. Well, did you find anything that could possibly clear Councilman Watson?
No, but I may have found something that could convict him. That was definitely Janet Watson's blood all over his house.
Doesn't look too good.
I don't think I've ever seen an exercise bike like this before.
You can ride 7,000 different routes all over the world.
You still in France?
No, past the border about 3 miles back. Just outside of Gstaad now. Look out! Oh! Where you been?
Nowhere as exotic. I've been backtracking Janet's movements for the past 24 hours. She was home all day except for a trip to the drugstore for some cold medicine.
Maybe she was followed by one of those home invasion guys.
And maybe space aliens came to take her back to the mothership.
No, they use phasers, not bullets.
Whoa!
My point
Watch
is,
it
any
there,
theory
buddy.
is possible. Right now, all of our proof points to Councilman Watson. He's not helping himself by refusing to talk to the police.
Except to say that he's innocent.
Which is somehow less compelling than the fact that his wife's blood was found all over his house.
Let me see that file again. I think we may have missed something.
The bullet avulsed the inferior branch of the right main pulmonary artery, causing massive internal hemorrhaging. Death. That's it for you, Mr. Fitz. Who's next?
He's the last one.
There are no more bodies?
What about the 5-car pileup? You cleared that up before lunch.
Well, let's do them again. Maybe we missed something.
That's what we did after lunch.
Well, let's fill out the report on that drowning victim.
Done.
I think we've waited long enough to order those supplies. Let's get down to it.
I got down to it this morning.
My, aren't we efficient?
I have to be to keep up with you, Dr. Bentley. Do you mind if I go? I've got a date with a guy in radiology.
Oh, no, you go. You have a good time. I'm going to stick around here. I'm going to finish up, stuff. Dr. Amanda Bentley, staff pathologist, adjunct county medical examiner. What have you got?
Amanda? I'm sorry to bother you, but did you do a tox screen on the blood samples found at Councilman Watson's house?
Sure did. Came up clean.
No drugs or preserving agents?
Nothing at all.
Okay. Thanks, Amanda.
Hold on. I'm happy to do the autopsy over again if you like.
Well, no, that's not really necessary.
Are you sure? I don't mind.
No, I appreciate the offer, Amanda, but I got what I need here. I appreciate the work. Bye.
You wanted to see me?
Sit down, detective.
You here to check my hemorrhoids, or is there something I don't know?
I said sit down. I never liked you, Stang. I fight for you because you clear cases. When Watson's commission called you dirty, I persuaded them you were just being over-enthusiastic. Made sure you kept your job.
I never got around to baking you a batch of cookies.
Shut up, Stang. Being a cop in this town is a lousy job. But if you do it right, I'm not going to make it any worse by busting you over the small stuff.
That's what makes you such a hero to all us little guys, Captain.
You have one chance to save your badge here, detective. You want to take it or you want to mouth off. As long as you're clean, no one's going to mess with you while I'm around. But if you're dirty, nothing
Who
you
says
can do...
I'm dirty? What does he know?
Right now, I just think that you framed Councilman Watson for murder.
You think? I don't have to sit here and listen to this crap.
You had a motive. You hated Matthew Watson.
Look, I admit, I crossed him off my Christmas list a long time ago. But you find one cop in this department who likes that guy. Go ahead, Pike. Tell me you voted for him.
You had motive, and you had opportunity. You were the one who went out behind the house alone and found the blood on the steps, and you found the blood in the bathroom.
Now, where do you think I got all this blood? Oh, wait. Your son must have given me a big dripping swab from the crime scene. Told me to go paint the place with it.
Well, that's where you made your mistake. That blood didn't come from the crime scene.
What are you talking about?
Janet Watson was taking cold medication. There was no sign of it in the blood at Councilman Watson's house.
It means the blood didn't come from Janet Watson the day she was killed, but sometime before.
That's premeditation.
And murder one.
I want to see my PBA rep.
That's the way you want it. If you want to talk, I'm willing to make a deal with you, but it's a limited time offer. I want your answer when I get back.
There goes my career and my pension.
You didn't frame Watson, he did.
You think that makes a difference? I was his partner. He goes down, so do I.
Councilman Watson was just released 10 minutes ago, and he's already scheduled a news conference outside City Hall tomorrow morning.
If he really cared about this city, he'd keep his mouth shut.
Well, his wife was murdered, his reputation ruined. You can't blame him for trying to get it back.
Well, you don't have to hold a press conference to do it. The public already mistrusts us. Exploiting the situation, he's just making things worse. You get bloody up there.
You're going to be right in the middle of it.
I made the bus with Stang and Halloran. I'm already in the middle of it.
Doesn't help that your father brought down a fellow policeman. I'm afraid I made a pariah out of him.
Stang was dirty. The rest I can live with.
It's locked!
I'll get the door.
He's dead.
You couldn't have known what he'd do.
I shouldn't have left him alone. He was a cop. There was no other choice.
Maybe. Where the hell did he get the gun?
Could have been his throwdown weapon. He kept it in an ankle holster.
Never know when you might shoot an unarmed suspect and need a weapon to plant on him.
Guns have a habit of disappearing even if they're there. You've been on the streets, you know that.
Get Stang's gun down to ballistics. And spread the word that any officer in my precinct carrying a second weapon better lose it today. Dismissed.
This shocking injustice proves what I've been saying for years about this police department. They don't serve the badge. They don't serve the community. They don't serve the law. They serve chief masters and his personal agenda. And we demand the chief's immediate resignation and an in-depth reinvestigation of every case Detective Stang worked during his long and deplorable career.
Steve is right that kind of rhetoric can cause war in the streets.
I hate to say it, Mark, but the councilman has a point, and you helped prove it. The police framed them.
You know, there's too many questions unanswered to just leave it as Stang's suicide. Who killed Janet Watson? Where did Stang get Janet's blood?
I may have a lead on that. After Stang's suicide, I reopened the autopsy of Janet Watson, and I discovered a nearly healed puncture in the crook of her arm, which would be consistent with someone drawing blood. So I called a family doctor, and he said he hadn't seen her in months.
Well, maybe she gave blood. I can go down to the local blood bank and see if she made a donation recently.
Oh, that is a good idea. Can you get on it this afternoon?
Yeah. But, there's still one thing I don't understand. If Stang murdered her, why didn't he just use blood from the scene?
There's only one reason I can think of. She's talking to the chief, huh?
They offered a course in lip reading at the academy. I never regretted skipping it until now.
You think they're talking about your future?
My what?
It's not necessarily over for you, Fred.
Yeah. I hear Burger Town is always looking for experienced security guards.
And that's the way I feel about that, Captain. Lieutenant, aren't you aware there's a meeting going on in here?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I asked Detective Sloan to bring me the ballistics report on Stang's gun as soon as it was ready.
I see. Yes, may I? Thank you. Have you seen this?
Yes, sir. It appears that Stang's gun was the same weapon used to kill Janet Watson.
I can't believe it.
Who else knows about this?
No one, sir. The techs didn't know whose gun they were testing.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Are you thinking of trying to bury this? I mean, if Stang really murdered Janet Watson, then we have a case.
Captain, this is an ongoing police investigation. We will announce the results when we have the entire truth.
Word gets out. It always does. And then we look as if we have something to hide.
Lieutenant, when Officer Stang entered Councilman Watson's house, where were you?
Right next to him, sir.
And who made the actual arrest?
I did.
And who was in charge of the ballistics report on Officer Stang's gun? Yes, well, you see, it already looks like we have something to hide now, doesn't it?
Sir, if you're suggesting that
I'm not suggesting anything, Lieutenant. The press will do that. And the suggestion that there's a police conspiracy to murder Janet Watson and blame it on her husband is enough to sink us all.
That's why we should come forth with everything we know as soon as possible.
Captain, I don't think I need to remind you that it's taken this department 5 years and 3 police chiefs to get over the last scandal we had. I don't believe we could withstand another one. You may bury that.
They never learn.
Captain?
It's not the crime that brings you down. It's the cover-up.
And we're right in the middle. But maybe we can get out.
We can't release the ballistics report. Not against the chief's explicit order.
If we can get independent evidence confirming our suspicions.
Get us a search warrant for Stang's apartment. And Steve, do it quietly. Pike. Dr. Sloan is where? Dr. Sloan.
Hi.
What are you doing in here?
Well, I have found that if I revisit the scene of a crime, sometimes I can get a fresh perspective on things.
Then shouldn't you be over at Janet Watson's house?
Well, we pretty well know what happened over there. What we don't know is what happened right here.
Stang jammed the door shut and blew the back of his head off.
What if he didn't?
Are you suggesting he was murdered?
I'm suggesting the possibility.
Well, even if we forget that he was holding the gun that killed Janet Watson and that his hand had powder burns, the door was jammed shut from the inside, the windows are barred, and the mirror wasn't broken until I threw a chair through it.
I know. But consider this. Janet Watson gave blood at a City Hall blood drive 3 days ago. Now the bag's disappeared.
But if Stang killed Janet Watson, why would he bother to take a bag of blood that was drawn 3 days before? Oh, that's why you think someone else is involved. Someone afraid that Stang might talk.
Mm-hmm. Now let's just assume for the moment that that's how it actually happened. How could it have been done?
Well, the killer would come in, pull his gun, and off Stang. Put the gun in his hand, and jam a chair under the doorknob with about 10 seconds to get out. But how?
Look at these iron bars over here. They're all rusty. Even the lock's rusty. But look closely at the lock there. All the rust has gone right around the loop.
Means it's been opened recently.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Where are the keys to that lock kept?
In the desk sergeant's drawer. We haven't checked for prints, but it's probably a waste of time.
Who knows about those keys?
Every cop in the precinct, in case of a fire or some other emergency. There's just one big problem with your theory. There was no time between the sound of the gunshot and us breaking into the room for the killer to get away.
We are assuming that the gunshot we heard was the shot that killed Stang. What if it wasn't? What if the killer used a silencer to shoot Stang, put the weapon in his hand, escaped through that barred window, climbed in a nearby room, and safely away from the crime scene, used another gun to fire off a blank, and that's the shot that we heard?
Well, that makes sense. But how do you explain the powder burns on Stang's hand?
Stang and Halloran went to the shooting range a couple hours before he was killed.
And there must have been 50 cops there who saw him and saw an opportunity. What happened to that search warrant on Stang's place?
Right here, Captain.
Let's go, Lieutenant.
Captain, I've got something. It's the Red Cross bag containing Janet Watson's blood. Found it out in the trash.
Good work.
What have you got?
Trouble for all of us. I found it taped under the drawer. It's a police intelligence file on Councilman Watson. It's from the chief's office. I want to say this clearly and without equivocation. Individuals in this department have framed Councilman Watson for murder and, in all probability, were involved in the killing of his wife. And it appears that Detective Stang planted Janet Watson's blood on the councilman's property, and it also appears that Detective Stang's gun was the murder weapon. I share your horror at this abuse of the public trust, but I urge you not to condemn the entire department because of a few corrupt officers. I promise you that we will find the truth, no matter where it leads. Councilman?
I want to thank Captain Pike for her honesty and courage. It's good to know there are still a few police officers in this city we can believe in.
Chief Masters behind this plot
What's Detective Stang murder?
Is Captain Pike being considered to replace the chief?
My office will be releasing a detailed statement within the hour. Thank you.
Is there going to
Are you all right?
Oh, I feel terrible.
Oh, his arm been twitching like that.
Oh, about a couple of hours. It's just nerves.
I think so. You're burning up. Steve, would you call an ambulance right away?
Still think I got a future here? That depends on how much you knew about what Stang was doing. You want to be a help, grab that box for some of this crap. Long Beach Refinery standoff. I was still in the academy then. Why don't you bringing out those hostages on TV?
Yeah, I was a big hero that day. Great things in my future.
What happened, Fred?
Stang happened.
I guess a dirty partner doesn't do much for your reputation.
A suspect gets a couple of bruises on the way back to the precinct. A gun gets dropped at the shooting scene. Doesn't matter which partner did it, you're a team.
You could have said something.
Right.
That's not the department way, is it? We don't talk, we take action.
What are you getting at?
Stang didn't kill himself.
Yeah, that didn't seem much like his style. Oh, you think I look good for popping him, huh?
You were the first one at the interrogation room door.
I had to go to the can. The door was locked. I was waiting outside. As a crack detective, you must have observed that the interrogation is right next door to the bathroom.
That's your story?
You got motive, you got opportunity. Go ahead, cuff me. What the hell do I care? That son of a bitch, Stang, he couldn't be content just humiliating Watson. He had to try and destroy him.
Humiliating him? How?
With his wife, of course.
Stang and Janet Watson?
She got off sleeping with the one cop her husband hated the most, and Stang said it was the same for him.
And you never thought to mention that?
Who would it have helped?
Bike tour's been treating you well. Pedaling the green hills of Africa.
Try the steep hills of Spain.
I'd like to. Think I can get a flight today?
Well, I came by to see how you were doing. Now I know. If anything's getting to you.
Oh, no, I love being despised by everyone I work with.
You remember back in college, You found out the quarterback was getting the test questions early?
And I let you convince me to go to the administration.
You took a lot of heat back then. Came out all right?
I got cut from the squad. My car got torched in the parking lot, and I couldn't get a date my entire junior year.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you saw a wrong and you made it right. I mean, that's what's important.
Especially if you ignore the fact that the quarterback got drafted by the pros, the coach re-upped with a huge raise, and they expelled some poor grad student who got blamed for the whole thing.
I could have sworn there was a life's lesson in there somewhere.
The guilty were rewarded, the innocent were punished, and I got shafted.
Okay, the football story is a bad example.
No, I think it's pretty much dead on. You know, I hate myself for even thinking this, but in a way, everybody would have been better off if you'd never proven the blood was planted.
Well, except for Matthew Watson, who'd be facing a death penalty for a crime he didn't commit.
And what a loss that would be. But I told you I hated myself. We're talking about bringing down the chief of police here.
You know it's the right thing to do.
So is exposing the quarterback. So why is he making $14 million a year and I'm checking to see if my car's on fire yet?
You remember back in high school when you got caught cheating on exams? I got away with that, Dad. You never told me that.
Hey, I thought your shift ended hours ago.
Oh, it did. I just have a lot of work to do, Jesse.
I'm sure it's nothing that can't wait. They're dead. They'll be dead tomorrow. You want to go home and see CJ before he goes to bed?
CJ's with Colin this week. There's only a big empty house waiting for me.
Well, I tell you, my shift is over after I see this next patient. Maybe we can go see that new movie, Jack Blood, Action Fist? Huh? It's gonna be good. Drives a monster truck with these rocket launchers.
Thanks, Jesse, really. But I want to finish my work.
Okay. I know what you're doing. And I did the same thing when my parents got divorced.
You removed a liver?
I joined every club. I tried out for every team. I volunteered for every charity. I even hung around after school to help clean rooms with the custodians. I mean, I would do anything except go home and face that pain. But I tell you, it catches up with you.
Okay. I'm fine, Jesse. I just want to finish my work.
Hey, but I'll still save a seat for you at Action Fist.
Thanks. Oh, Doctor, this will teach me to eat fish tacos off a roach coach.
Well, that's a good rule to keep in mind, but your condition actually has nothing to do with food poisoning.
What then?
I'm looking at the files that your doctor sent over, and there's no record of a tetanus shot in the past 10 years. We've started aggressive treatment, and I think that we caught it early enough that with a little luck, you'll be out of here in a day or two.
What if I'm not lucky, Doctor?
Let's not worry about that until we have to, okay? Just get some rest. Why don't you continue IVD 5W, half normal, safe?
Mike, what the hell are you thinking?
Sir, this really isn't a good time.
Yes. Let me remind you who the chief of police is here, and it's not you. And by the way, I will decide what goes public, no one else. You understand that?
I don't let suspects in a homicide dictate how I handle an investigation.
Oh, so we're playing politics, are we? Let me ask you a question. What kind of an arrangement did you make with Mr. Watson?
You wanted the ballistics report on Stang's gun suppressed. Steve and I found an intelligence file on Watson from your office at Stang's place. You added up.
You don't see how you're being played by this bastard, do you? You don't see that all you're doing is tearing down the police department so he can become mayor?
I'm doing my job.
Yes, I can see that. Oh. And Lieutenant Sloan, may I be the first to congratulate you. You see, when or if Miss Pike becomes chief, what's that going to make you?
Tell me you've got good news.
You tell me.
Stang's phone records.
Look at that number. It appears more than 30 times.
That's the chief's private line.
Chief?
We have to talk. I'm taking over the Watson investigation while Captain Pike is in the hospital.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
Well, I thank you for your opinion, but give me everything you have on the case.
I can't do that, sir.
Lieutenant, as long as you're wearing that badge, you'll do exactly what I tell you to do.
Is that what you told Stang?
Give me your files and your notes right now.
They don't share the details of an ongoing investigation with the suspect. And like it or not, Chief, you're a suspect.
I am still the same police officer I was when I walked a beat in South Central Los Angeles, Lieutenant. Don't ever forget that. And I don't break the law. I enforce it.
Then you know why it has to be this way. If you have a problem with that, fire me.
You had better hope this turns out the way you think it's going to. Because when it's all over with, I'll be standing. The question is, will you?
Away from me.
Well, you look like you could use a little pick-me-up.
Well, you know, that's what I said to myself the last 600 cups that I poured.
You know, I'm sure you could use some time off. Why don't you go away somewhere for a while?
Mark, I can't do that. I have too much work. Besides, I have 6 autopsies waiting for me. Thanks for reminding me.
She's working too hard.
She's running.
Hi, Dad. Hi, what'd you find out? I checked with the department's janitorial service. They cleaned the restroom the night before Stang's death. What about the observation room mirror? They did every room on the floor, including all windows and mirrors. That's what I was afraid of. Dad, this seems like an odd time to be concerned with the sanitary conditions of my workplace. What's going on? Unfortunately, it proves that Stang was murdered by Cynthia Pike. That can't be right. You remember how Captain Pike got into the interrogation room? Yeah, she shattered the mirror and climbed through. Cut herself pretty badly doing it. What if she cut herself deliberately? Why? To hide the fact that she had already cut herself on those rusty iron bars. And what she didn't know, that she had already infected herself with tetanus when she did.
Which you can't get from a clean mirror.
Why would she do it? Well, I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't think we'll know until we bring down the leader of this conspiracy.
Pike and Stang were in this together?
I didn't want to believe it myself at first.
Well, I still don't.
Pike killed your wife. Stang planted the blood.
I just told the city she had my complete trust, for God's sake.
That's exactly what you wanted you to do. Everything is going just as she planned, along with Chief Masters, of course.
But why?
All the things you thought before. To ruin you and to give Masters a clear shot at the mayor's seat. And he'd make her the first female chief of police in L.A. history. But when Dad figured out you were being framed, Pike decided to make Stang the fall guy and save herself. Pike killed Stang and tried to make it look like a suicide, but she made a couple of mistakes. One fatal. She contracted tetanus, and she's not responding to treatment.
Well, if she dies, we'll never be able to prove Masters was behind this.
There might be a way. Offer the chief a deal. Tell him you know about the intelligence file at Stang's, and you'll exonerate him if he drops out of the race and endorses you for mayor. And wear this when you do it.
What's the matter? Couldn't find any good empty warehouses or abandoned amusement parks?
Well, why am I here?
Because the next time we meet, I'll be wearing this. I'll offer to make you a deal, on tape, that will implicate you in my wife's death in the plot to frame me. It's your last chance to save yourself.
Councilman Watson, you may eavesdrop on every one of my conversations till the day I drop dead. It's not going to do you any good because we both know I had nothing to do with this.
It sure looks like you did. That'll be enough to ruin you. Unless I help you out. So tomorrow we can put on an act that'll clear you and put all the blame on Pike and Stang.
And what do I have to do? Forget about a couple of your parking tickets?
No, I want you to drop out of the race. Endorse me and use your resources on my behalf while I'm in office.
And how will you explain what's happened?
We'll say Pike and Stang were lovers, and she found out he was sleeping with my wife and didn't like it. So Pike figured out a way to kill her and lay everything on Stang.
And you'll say that Pike planted the blood at your house, knowing that Dr. Sloan would clear you and go after Stang. Captain Pike killed Stang, makes it look like a suicide, end of story.
Now you're getting the hang of it.
Do you think Captain Pike will go along with it?
Pike is dying. And even if she makes it, who would believe her? If you and I support each other.
You know, Councilman Watson, it sounds very good. I bet it even sounds better on tape. You say it was a good thing one of us was wired.
Watson's story is pretty close to the truth, Chief, with one crucial difference. He was the one having an affair with Captain Pike.
He killed his wife and planted the blood on his own property. We framed Stang, and I killed him. The only thing Stang was guilty of was bad luck.
Shut up, Cynthia.
You were willing to sacrifice me to save yourself. One good turn deserves another, honey.
And you did it all so Masters would be disgraced, Watson would become mayor, and you'd be the new chief of police.
Get him out of here. Officer Halloran, I'm very sorry about what's happened to you. I'll make it right.
Yeah, sure. Beats Burger Town.
How did you know it was me?
When I realized that Pike killed Stang, I had to ask myself the question, well, who benefited from all this? Not Masters, certainly. I couldn't have proved one thing if you hadn't tried one last little manipulation. I counted on you being a politician right to the end, and you were.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Yes, Lieutenant, I do. Come in. Would you please excuse us for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Captain Blake from North Hollywood will be taking over here.
He's a good man.
Yes, well, he does his job. Nothing more, nothing less. He's too busy thinking about his pension, not his politics.
Well, then I hope the department saves up for a nice gold watch for him. I'm not holding out hope for mine.
Let me tell you something, Lieutenant. This is my department. I will not tolerate any type of opposition from within. I want all my police officers out in the field closing cases, not attending to some personal political agenda. You'll be staying. But if you ever move against me again, I will crush you. Well, Lieutenant, that was very good police work.
was so urgent that I had to stop here on my way to work.
Amanda, I know it's out of your way, but this couldn't wait.
I can handle it.
I hate to interrupt your busy schedule, but this is something that's really important. I just found out that Dr. Hugo Arbuthnot, the famed forensic anthropologist, is giving a demonstration of his new technique for reconstructing human skulls on a bone shards. You got to see it.
That's great. When, where? I'll go.
Well, here's the hard part. It's in Hawaii in 7 hours. Here's your plane ticket. Here's your reservation. I am really sorry, Amanda.
Well, it's no problem. It's a 5-hour flight that gives me 2 hours to situate CJ with my mom. I'm on my way.
Oh,
See
I
you
sure
later.
appreciate it.
Thanks. Okay. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
What do you think she'll do when she gets there and finds out there's no Dr. Arbuthnot? No demonstration.
I hope she just blasts it off and finds herself a nice little spot on the beach.
If she doesn't,
We got 7 hours to come up with a plan.